What you are about to hear is a reenactment. It is being read by an average chipmunk who we asked to read this particular transcription. It is the journal of an individual who died in 1971 at the San Quentin Penitentiary in California. It only recently has been found. We feel that it's more important for you to hear it from an actual chipmunk's perspective than it is to hear a computer simulation reading the transcription itself. We think that it makes this a much more personal account of who this individual was, because for 50 years we have never known who they really were. What you will be hearing is the only record of an individual who was assumed to be Alvin the chipmunk. He was found guilty of attempted murder in 1969 in Los Angeles, of having attempted to kill Dave Seville in 1965. Since that time, the individual was found dead of a cut throat and also multiple stab wounds in 1971. Now we present this unedited retelling of this individual, who we found out later was an imposter. We'll let him tell you in his own words of what really happened and why his story deserves to be told now.
None of the guards would even take me seriously. They thought you're just coming up with an excuse one way or the other. You're not being honest. They didn't believe me. So as I continued waiting it out for the trial to end, I started getting more and more agitated with all the questions they were asking me in court, because I knew there was no help coming. There was nothing coming. It was a big joke. And I got really, really mad with my attorney one day. And those guards and the whole judicial system, they figured, well, we'll just shut you up for now. And they started pumping me full of all kinds of sedatives and things, mind-altering drugs to control my mind, control what I was saying in court. And when the sentencing was actually handed down, do you know, I don't even remember the judge saying what he did. I don't even remember the jury saying what they did, because by that time I was just totally sedated. I was like a walking vegetable. But after I got incarcerated at San Quentin, all of that stopped. The medicine stopped, all the special treatment, everything. Then they placed me within the normal population of the prison. And I just wonder now, how long do I have before whoever it was that failed to help me when I needed them, when are they planning to initiate their revenge against me, since I botched it? I know they've probably got somebody planned within the cell here with me, probably, whose job it is to get rid of me before I can convince anybody of what I know. They've got to get rid of me somehow, I know it. It's just a matter of time. Whoever finds this journal, I just hope that what happened here will find its way to the media. It'll find its way to those people who can do something, who can fight against this organization. It's out there. I'm not talking about the mafia. I ain't talking about the mob. It's bigger even than that. It goes all the way up to the President of the United States. That's how big an organization this is. I know my days are numbered. But I don't want anybody within my family to be targets after I'm gone. That's why I'm not going to say, even in this, practically it's my last will and testament, I'm not going to say it's this or it's that. I'm just going to tell you in a generalized way that there's something bigger out there than anybody realizes. And it controls the government, it controls the people, it controls everything. And they're the ones that sent me in there. You might think it's just an issue of one rival company who wanted the control of one particular type of music industry. It wasn't about that. It's a lot bigger than that. They wanted to take out one man, but it was probably even bigger than that. It's even so big that I can't even figure it out. But that's what they do. When they set up a contract, there's a lot more to it than just you take out a man and that's it. I'm not going to try to hide the fact of how much money I was going to get paid for this either. I want it noted in this journal that they promised me $1 million to do this. That's how much was at stake. It's more than it just being a contract for them. There was something more to it. Something bigger, something even more secretive than they were even willing to tell me. So I can't say how big this thing was. But however big it was, believe this. Somebody high up in government is behind this whole thing. They were the ones that were going to finance this contract. The more they got out of it, as far as, them controlling the industry, it probably would have expanded and blown up everywhere. In everything. Not just one particular industry. If I don't have anything to say other than what I've already shared in my journal, it would be that people should listen at least to what I said during those interviews, that it was about money. And it was about money. But it's a lot more than even that. But I can't say anything else because I'm thinking about other people now. I'm not thinking about me when I say I can't talk anymore about this or that. That's as much as I'm going to say. At least about that subject. Whatever happened to the original, I don't know. I don't want people wondering whether I knew any other facts about it or not. No, I don't. All I know is they kidnapped him. That's it. After that, I don't know anything else. If he's still alive, I don't know. If he's dead, I don't know that either. But that's a part of how the organization works. The less you know, the less they can pry out of you. The less you give out, the less information you tell them, the less chance there is that they can piece together other facts. That's how the organization works. Give as little as you can, and then you protect everybody else. You cover everybody else's behind. That's That's the organization. That's how it functions. That was the intention of how it was supposed to function from the beginning. This organization is like nothing anybody could ever even fantasize. It started even before Prohibition. Gang violence, mobs, the mafia, organized crime. It was there even before them. And now it's so big. Here it is, early 1971. It's so big, it's controlling even the presidency. Who knows how else it's structured, but it's a dangerous organization. And people don't realize it. Maybe someday they will, but I don't know what else to put in this journal to say about who it was that had hired me. Because when I think of how much money I could have made from this, and them thinking it was nothing but a drop in the bucket, that tell me that the financing and the monies that they were going to spend, it was coming from something bigger than any kind of an organization or company. It had to come from something like a government bank or something. It could have been a global bank for all I know. It could have come from a Swiss account. Yeah, that's right, a Swiss account. That's where the money was supposed to be deposited. It was supposed to be in an unmarked Swiss account. Then nobody could ever track down where it came from or nothing. You never know. This could have been money that the Nazis held after the end of the war. They could know where all that gold was put. And that could have been my money. That could have been the payoff. But they would never tell me. They would say, you got to finish the job first, and then we'll tell you where it is. That's how secretive they were about it. They weren't going to tell me nothing. They were saying, you got to do the job, and then when we're satisfied with what you did, then we'll tell you where the money is. And they played that game from day one. If I needed things, they would give me petty cash, is what I call it, because they got stuff for me all the time when I asked them. And I thought, is this coming out of my retainer? I mean, what's all this money coming from? And they said, you don't worry about that. Just do the job. And that's what they were saying to me all the time. Do it. Do the job. Get it done. And then when I flopped, when I failed, that Christmas morning, it just blew up in my face. All the contacts lost were over. I mean, everything ended. No more contacts, no more messages, no more anything. Did I try to contact them? You better believe I did. What did I get? Dead silence. Nothing. During the trial, the attorney, he only wanted to know things about my character witnesses. When I mentioned names about Peter Pan Industries or all the other people I know, they didn't want to know nothing about them. He'd say, forget about that stuff. We're trying to save your life. We ain't worried about all these fantasies you have about who you worked for and all the rest of it. And then I realized this guy works for them. He don't want to know the facts. He don't want to know the story. All he cares about was just doing his part of his job, getting paid for whatever they had told him to do, which is basically hang me out to dry. That's what they wanted to do. Hang me out to dry. I don't know what else is going to happen to me. But I'm going to hide this journal. I'm going to hide it. I'm not going to let anybody see it. I'm not going to let anybody have it. And when it's found, then you can do whatever you want to. But this is just my own personal last will and testament. That's what it is. Because I am not probably going to be alive when it's found.